Hello. Now, due to what's happened in this season, so as you know, I used to do was split it into three parts: you skip mid, beginning, middle, end. Due to the fact how many clubs I'm going to be playing with, or want to get through with, and we want to do guides and try and do a task with them. We're going to try and speed up a bit. So this time around, I decided to do was one full straight season because obviously you've already seen some of the bits and pieces that's been happening through it. So it's probably a better or more compact to do it in one, do season each episode. So then it'll be easier for myself. So anyway, let's go into this. This is probably already shows what's happened. Obviously, you can see in the league, we ended up 6th place with Hull. We ended up with 80 points. And it was rough. This was probably the most difficult season because of the fact that we had Blackburn, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, West Brom, Derby, who started bringing up, came back up. We had many different teams that were popping, so it was like a very, very difficult moment for us, especially considering the fact Tottenham did come down. As you can see, we did end up promoted. It was a very rough situation. We ended up in the playoffs, so we ended up against Crystal Palace. We won 2-0 in the first game, and then we lost 1-0 in the second. It was very close. Lucky enough, we took Nottingham Forest to extra time and won there. Or I think it was penalties. Might be penalties. Oh, that was good. But what you want to see is how we came about doing this. So what we're going to do is go to the transfer history, so you can see a bit clearly. Hold on, let me put this up here. So as you can see, we brought in. So there was a lot of players we needed to try and bring in. Let's go with the players that left. Randall Williams has left. He went to Bristol City. We weren't going to play him, so he just had to go. Callum Elders left at January because of the fact that he wanted to leave, and Reading were calling him. They were in the Premiership, so he's actually going back down. So I don't know if that's a loss for him. Adam Phillips was sold off because we weren't really using him either. Because he wasn't getting games. We sold him off for a bit of money to try and get some cash. We freed one player. We got 2 players out on loan. The rest were loaned out, and that's pretty much is the transfer. The in transfer will be much better. We did look for a lot of free players. So Liz Mousset in, he was free. I decided we needed to bring somebody solid as striker. Obviously, he was playing with Sheffield United. He didn't do that well with Sheffield United, but he didn't do too bad with Fulham. So I was like, might as well bring him in because he might turn out okay. He might turn out. Didn't do too bad, 14 goals, but it's not much of a difference to his other average. We brought in Charlie Savage. He didn't get really play much, but he was just there as a backup. Matt Smith was a midfielder, so I wanted to try and bring in some midfielders for free, or try and bring in them so they could play with us. We brought him in. He was probably a good player. I'm glad we got him in. He did well for us when he was on loan. He did well for Middlesbrough when he was on loan. And he did well for us when he came back. He's quite a very average, good, solid player. We got Florian Balogun because this was a mix. He didn't do bad. He scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals for us. But the problem is the fact that I've just seen he did score a lot for us. It's just the fact. It's just the fact that his loan contract was about, I think, 30,000. We had to pay the whole 100%, 30,000 a week. I don't think I could ever do that again because that was rough. But he did. I'm glad we got him. He was very good. Itakura was a difficult one because obviously Brexit and the fact that we need to make sure we can get work permit from. He was a good buy. I'm glad we got him for free, and he did very well for us. 40 appearances. You could tell he was playing in a lot of games. He was playing in the back with Greaves a lot, which means might actually end up leaving at the end of the season. Actually, maybe. Henrik Hegheim, we got in on loan for at January. We needed, because our defense was really struggling, and we needed another extra one. And obviously the fact we were going to be losing Elder, so we brought in Henrik Eggheim. He did really good. He did really good. 20 appearances, 7.04 E. It was solid. I might try and see if I could try and buy him because he was a very, very good player. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, but we're going to try it. We did get a player from Real Madrid called Andre Lacus Johnson. He played a couple games, but he didn't really do well. He was just more of bringing in as a depth to offense. And last but not least, Jalen Lindsay, who didn't get to play because I signed him in the January at the last minute January transfer, and his thing didn't go through until 2 or 3 days later, and we already registered the players that were going to be playing, so he wasn't able to be registered. But it turns out he might not be that great either way, so we might have to end up selling him anyway, or he ends up being a backup. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's just like it was a poopy moment. It was a poopy moment. Might be better to show you the squad. So the ones who played a lot of the games were Jacob Greaves, Freddie Woodman, Charlie Patino. Charlie Patino was so good. He did so well for us. I'm glad we kept him for another season. Koya Takuro and Orion Mulligan. And yeah, Lishabella was actually I was trying to try to sell Lishabella. But he actually was proving to be not too bad. He did get us out of a lot of rough. That was actually not too bad. Obviously we might lose. Oh yeah, we actually gonna lose. Oh yeah, we're gonna lose. So that's unfortunate. Most goals will go to RC Balogun. Kantamanka's didn't do too bad. It's just the problem with him was the fact that there was times he wouldn't be able to score a goal, and there was times he was able to score a goal, and it was very frustrating. That's why we brought in Balogun. Muset was not scoring as many goals as I was hoping for, because he was a little bit weary as well at times. So he was the same as the Manakas. So that's why he brought Balogun to help out. But I mean, it worked out in the end. And average rating goes to Kantamanazka for 7.06. With Balogun with 7.05 and Henrik Hegheim is 7.04 with Jacob Greaves. Otherwise it's actually not bad. Who was probably the worst? Who played a decent amount? Probably Malik Will. Who's played a decent amount because he's played 12 games. He was I don't know what happened to him. He was supposed to be a decent player. He just ended up a little bit slacking, so we might end up letting them go. We're going to quickly look at finance. As you can see, we have no debt. We have a little bit of transfer debt, but that's okay. You might have just saw we have a budget. So obviously because of the fact that we got promoted, got 40 million transfer budget, bang. We also got our wage budget up to 484k per week, bang. And it's good. This is good. But I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know who we're gonna bring in. There's a lot of players in our club we're gonna have to strip out, and then we're gonna have to bring a lot of players in. I definitely know that. So we're gonna have to do a lot of scouting through the summer, try and see how we can try and do. But it's gonna be rough. I'll say this: it is a rough situation it's gonna be in, and I think this will be interesting to see what we do. Otherwise, it's actually not that bad. I'm looking forward to the Premiership. We only have one final thing to try and do, and that is to try and be better than 16th place. Because if you remember correctly, 16th place was the highest they ever been in the last 25 years. It wouldn't be 25 years now, but when we started, it was 20 for the last 25 years. 16th place in the Premier League was the highest. So what we're going to be trying to do is every stop, we're going to bring everyone we can who's going to be helping get the squad up. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Anyway, I'll be in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed a little bit. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're keeping well. And I hope you have a nice time on Football Manager. This is probably as much as I can give us update-wise. hopefully the next one, I think for future videos you're gonna see end of each season, I think. So you'll get to see each season how we do. If it is like something more specific, it might be more broken down. But I think in some of these cases it'll be like this. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day, a good time. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment if you like to do so. If you like the video, or if you like some of the previous video, I would appreciate if you subscribe. It helps me a lot and gets me one step closer to 1,000 subscribers. I do stream every Tuesday, variety of games. Sometimes I do even do at the beginning is some Football Manager, and then later on is some of the other games. You're more than welcome to check it out. And I do also stream on Twitch on Wednesday to Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. And you're more than welcome to check it out. 7 p.m. also on the YouTube live on Tuesdays. Anyway, catch you later. See you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. What's going